Today I'm going to show you how to play 2 against 3 rhythms at the piano. 2 against 3 is a type of polyrhythm. A polyrhythm is just when you have one rhythm in one hand and a different rhythm in the other hand at the piano. In this video, I'm going to show you how to divide a beat in different ways and then give you a detailed approach to learning the 2 against 3 rhythm with specific progressive exercises and practice suggestions. Then I'll show you how to approach the 2 against 3 rhythm when it appears in an actual piece of music using Debussy's First Arabesque as an example. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Kate Boyd. I'm a pianist and a professor of piano. By the way, I put a copy of the score and exercises in the description below this video, so you can download that and follow along with me. Let's get started. When you're approaching polyrhythms in music, it's important to understand that you need to approach it 2 ways at the same time. First of all, you need to approach it with an intellectual understanding of how the 2 rhythms work together, mathematically and rhythmically. And the other way you need to approach it, besides the intellectual understanding of it, is by feel. By feeling the larger beat and then allowing the smaller notes to fall equally in between each beat. It's also important to note that you do not need to train yourself to individually hear each hand's separate rhythm, and therefore you do not need to be listening to the subdivision of each hand precisely as you play. That's not our end goal here. But you do need to feel a strong beat, and you do need to be able to play each hand evenly within that beat. Polyrhythms tend to be quite intimidating for piano students because I think we want to play with a lot of care and precision, and polyrhythms are by definition somewhat imprecise because they serve to obscure the beat and precision of the beat by juxtaposing 2 different rhythms played by the different hands. And so what happens is, when your hands are not lined up, it can cause a lot of anxiety about whether you're doing it right and whether it's sounding right. And it's helpful to remember that the musical function of a polyrhythm is often to create an improvised feel or to otherwise obscure the underlying rhythm. Now, that said, the polyrhythm does need to be executed in a precise way. You can't kind of just generally do 2 against 3. There is a precise way to do it, but remember that at the end, when you are playing it in context, it's more about the overall effect that rhythm creates. Before you can understand how to play 2 against 3, it's very important to be able to feel the beat in 2s or in 3s. And I'm going to show you a quick little exercise that you can do to help learn that in case that is a challenge for you. So I have my metronome. I'm putting it on 60. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a scale 1 octave with 1 note per click. Then I'm going to do 2 octaves with 2 notes per click. Then I'm going to do 3 octaves with 3 notes per click. And then that is a way to feel a consistent beat and also feel like I'm subdividing the beat differently. All right, so here is 1 octave. 1, 2. All right, you can do this at home too. Coming down. Now I'll get ready to do 2 octaves. Now 3 octaves with 3s. That's a really good exercise to do if you have difficulty feeling 2s versus 3s. Practicing 1 octave on 1, 2 octaves with 2 notes per click, and 3 octaves with 3 notes per click will help you start to feel that consistent beat. All right, now that we've done that, I'm going to talk about 2 against 3. So 2 against 3, there's a mnemonic device to help you remember how it goes, and it is not difficult. Not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. It's important that you always say it that way, though. Sometimes I have students saying, not difficult, and of course that doesn't work. It's that rhythm of those words. Not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. Now the way that works is that not is where the 2 hands play together, not, and then diff is whichever hand is playing the triplet or the 3. So if I have my triplet in my right hand, I'm going to go not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. And you can hear dum ba da da, dun da da da. That's 2 against 3. That's 3 in the right hand, 2 in the left hand. And then if we flip it, if we want 3 in the left hand, we just start with diff on the left hand. So it's not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. All right. So after you can tap it, not difficult, not difficult, and you can, like, if you're sitting around in a classroom and you're bored, just practice not difficult, not difficult, you know, really getting it so that the 2 hands are coordinated. Then the next step that you can do, next exercise for that, is take your left hand, I'm putting it on C, middle C, my right hand on G, make a 5th or other pleasing interval, and you're going to practice the rhythm just on 2 notes. So I'll do the triplet in the right hand. Not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. Now I'll switch the left hand. Not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. That is how we can feel and incorporate right away using that mnemonic device, the 2 against 3. Now, the fact of the matter is, you're not going to be playing a piece and thinking, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, right? You have to have it a little bit more automatic than that, and you need to be able to feel the larger beat, which is what I was saying before about how intellectually you can understand that when you have one hand that has 3, the other hand is going to play the first note together, and then the second note will be halfway between the second and third note, because that is the mathematics of 3 versus 2. But the mathematics is only one step to understanding it. The other thing is to feel the beat. So you can do various exercises to help you understand and feel the beat. So one that I just made up this morning, which I think is pretty handy, is where you play 3s in one hand. I'll play those in my right hand. And you just play 3 notes in a row. And I'm in the key of C here. These are my triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. Then in the left hand, I'm just going to play thirds. I mean, I say I made this up, but I'm probably the 1200th person to make this up. It's not a complicated pattern. So it's not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. Did you hear how my left hand was right in between the second and third notes in the right hand? Now I'm going to flip it. I'm going to play 3 notes in the left hand. 2 notes in the right hand, etc. So it's going to go like this. Not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. And then you can do it the other way. That's a really good exercise to do. You can do it in different keys. This is the key of D. You can do it in all the keys and just get comfortable with 3 versus 2. Because when you then encounter it in the wild, in an actual piece, then you'll have more comfort with it right from the beginning. I'm going to look now at Debussy's first Arabesque. We have this rhythm between the hands. The left hand has duples, and the right hand has triplets. Here's an intermediate step that you can do. Take one hand and play the notes as written, but the other hand just go back and forth between like octaves or something. So I'm going to do 2 in the left hand. I'm going to go 1, 2, duple, dupe, and I'm going to play the right hand. And that just helps the ear understand. And you can do it the other way too. You can go. So that you get the feel for how it feels between the hands, because this is the shift we have to make from the intellectual to the feeling. I'm still at the intellectual though, because I'm going to do not difficult with these actual pitches. So we're here on the duple. Now, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. Did you hear how that worked? Okay, now I'm going to put this together. So, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. Okay, etc. So you can practice that. I had that on 69, just FYI. That's how I practiced that. However, if you know this piece, you know that we do not play Debussy Arabesque like. That's not the feel we want. We want it to be dreamy. We want it to just have a floaty feeling. And I think that's why Debussy wrote the 2 against 3 rhythm in the first place. He wrote it to make it less precise, and so we don't hear the rhythms, like the hammers hitting at exactly the same time. It blurs, it creates a more blurry effect. And so this is where you have to take the work that you've done on 2 against 3 and make that leap to feeling the larger beat and dividing the hands equally. And so the question is, how do you do that? You're probably sitting there wondering how to make that leap from the intellectual approach to it to feeling the beat. And I'm going to show you. This is how I teach it to my students. You put on your metronome, you take one hand, you play that 2 times. Then you take the other hand and you play that 2 times. Then you try it, hands together, 2 times. You just don't overthink it. You just try it. It's probably going to be awful. That's okay. Then you immediately go to left hand 2 times, right hand 2 times, together 2 times. I'll show you exactly what I mean. Okay. Dun, 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 bum. I'm going to go a little faster. It's a little bit like you don't want to go too slow when you're doing this because you got to feel the larger beat. And if it's too slow, then you're going to be like looking at all the individual parts. It's like when you fly an airplane, you need to have enough speed over the wings to take off. So anyway, I'm at 76 now. Left hand alone. Okay, that's the first time. I said I was going to do it twice. Second time. Now the right hand. Ready, go. 1. And second time. Now I'm going to do it hands together. And 1. I can already do it, and so I know I played it right. But what often happens is people will go things like, they'll often play. Did you hear how the right hand was not even? And that's okay. If you play it that way, that's totally fine. But then go back. Left hand twice. Do that twice, and then do the right hand twice. Focus on that big beat, and then hands together. And just focus then on trying to replicate the feel that you had when you played the even triplets and the feel that you had when you played the even duples, because that's how you're going to be able to eventually play really smooth 2 against 3. Now, of course, you can always practice not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. But when you're going fast, you don't really have time, and you don't have the mental bandwidth to be like, not difficult, not difficult. Like it's too fast to do that. And so that's why it's very important to make that shift to feeling the beat. Since there was so much interest in having a tutorial about 2 against 3 rhythms, let me know if you'd like me to do a tutorial on 3 against 4 rhythms, which is another common polyrhythm that pianists often encounter. Just write 3v4 in the comments section of this video. If enough of you do that, I'll make a video about how to learn 3 against 4 and with detailed practice suggestions. Practicing polyrhythms requires working with a metronome. For more strategies on practicing with the metronome, go ahead and click right up there on that video in the corner where I'll go over the biggest mistakes people make when practicing with the metronome. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Happy practicing!